Imagine if people everywhere, and particularly people within the Christian churches, gave up being so defensive about their dogmas and creeds, all those dogmas and creeds that cause people to hate and kill, to condemn and criticize. Imagine. Can you imagine that happening? Imagine if they embraced the simple words of Jesus of Nazareth when he said, keep on searching, keep on asking, keep on knocking. Imagine. Imagine if everyone stopped all their nastiness and started to be decent, courteous, caring. In place of all the griping, they planted a few seeds of universal goodwill. Imagine. Imagine if George Bush, in the immediate aftermath of the World Trade Center catastrophe, imagine if instead of spending billions of dollars on a war, he had said, we will walk the road of dialogue and diplomacy. Imagine if he had said, we will not bomb, we will not kill, we will not do as they do. We will not torture. We will not destroy. We will not extract revenge. We will not pursue the old ways of an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We will seek peace. We will sit down and talk, and we will listen. Imagine. Imagine if he had said, we will be people of a new faith. A new faith for a different future. A new faith of a different way of being a human community right around the world. A different system of beliefs and practices. Imagine. You see, without that imagination, we regress. And sooner or later, we regress into the primitive. Imagination, good imagination, is at the very core of our humanity. It is in fact at the very core of a good faith. Ian McEwan, the distinguished author, said this way back in 2001. He said that imagination is the essence of compassion, and it is the beginning of morality. The hijackers used fanatical certainty, a misplaced religious faith, a dehumanizing hatred. Among their crimes was the failure of imagination, a failure to imagine the pain, to imagine the lives of other human beings and their suffering. We all know that our imagination can run off in many directions. Your imagination can mesmerize you into a posture of fear that terrible things are going to happen if. Listen to 100 economists and commentators in the climate of 2008 and 2009, and I will wager that 90 out of the 100 have thrown themselves onto a train of gloom and are persuading millions around the world to join them in their vast mental constriction and their fearful, troubled imagination, the terrible things that are going to happen. What happens after the terrible things happen? As the Berlin Wall came down and the Cold War ended, no one could imagine the new world that would come after. And now today, with the American consumptive capitalism in a phase of collapse, can anyone imagine with confidence what will come next, the new world? Byron wrote back in 1820, between two worlds, life hovers like a star, twixt night and moon upon horizon's verge. How little do we know of that which we are, how less what we might be. At its worst, our toxic imagination leaves us sleepless, keeps us anxious, fills us with dread, carries us towards anger and irrationality and many misjudgments. We all know how life can be floating pleasantly along, and then you run into something and imagination runs riot. Or it shrivels up. Or we close it down. And we haven't really studied the psychology of imagination. Isn't that extraordinary?